When people are sad, they often say they have the blues or they're feeling blue. For 3 years, from 1901 until 1904, Pablo Picasso painted paintings that were mostly blue, monochromatic tints and shades of blue. He himself was going through a very sad period in his life after the death of a very close friend. Kinda Blue by Anne Griffalcone, Little Brown and Company. One day down in Georgia, where the sweet corngrass grows so slow, I had me a fit of lonely. I was feeling kinda blue. Yes, one day down in Georgia, feeling kinda low, had an awful fit of lonely, and I didn't know what to do. There I was, sitting all by myself, scooched down in the front yard of our Georgia farm, poking holes in the dirt for no good reason. Me and my bent-over shadow. Blue. Now, it didn't matter to me that Mama and Grandma was up at the house. And it didn't matter that I was just short of 7. It didn't matter to me. I was seized by that fit of lonely, and I didn't care who knew. I guess it all got started 'cause I got to missing my papa. He had died back when I was a baby girl. It didn't seem fair. Other kids got papas, I sniffed. I was feeling awful sorry for myself. I looked around all grumpy like. Nobody ever be there when you need 'em. Brother, sister, always playing somewhere else. Mama, Grandma, always busy. Grandpa always sitting on his porch. Uncle Dan, always in his old cornfields. "What you doing over there, sissy honey?" This here cheerful voice called out, scratching in the ground like old wet hen. I knowed it was just Uncle Dan, so I kept on digging, mumbling, "I'm gonna dig me a hole so deep." "What's that you say?" Uncle said, coming closer. I said it louder. I said I'm gonna dig me a hole so deep I can climb right in and hide. Of course, it came out real grumpy like, and Uncle was having none of that. So he bent his big tall frame and scooped me right up. He knowed I loved to be carried up on his shoulders so high. "How about taking a ride with me, sissy? I'm going to visit my corn children." I shook my head, my mouth tight shut, still holding on to my grumpy. "Cat got your tongue?" Uncle smiled, catching on. But he kept walking, holding me steady with his strong right arm. He went right across the road to his fields of corn, growing straight and shy and bright, 'neath the shade of the old Sadie Mountain. "See them fling the leafy arms," Uncle said. "They waving hello." The tall corn stalks did look like rows of dancers, silky white heads tossing in the sunlight. And Uncle Dan commenced to wave right back at them, looked so silly, made me giggle. Then Uncle played right back to me, "Don't laugh, they talks to me." "Oh, Uncle, hush, no such thing. Just corn stalks rustling in the breeze." Uncle laughed. "Cat don't got your tongue no more." Then he pointed proudly back to his corn children. "I raised 'em from seed, I did. Watched over 'em. Why, I bet I knows every one of 'em." "Every one?" "Oh, Uncle, that couldn't be. They all exactly the same." Uncle Dan slid a sly look at me. "So you think they all be the same? Let's play a game and find out." Setting me down on the old fence rail that snaked around his field, Uncle Dan, in one long swinging stride, reached one of the tall corn stalks, pulled off an ear of corn, and handed it back to me, still wrapped in its green husk, saying, "Peel it open," which be what I did, till the little rows of golden corn shone free. "What do you see?" Uncle Dan said. I pointed. "Corn, yellow corn. That's what I knowed I would see." Uncle put his hands upon his hips. "Now, sissy, about the rest. Think about all the corn in this field. Be just about the same?" "Well, Uncle," I said, careful like, "let's stick to the ears of corn." Uncle nodded. He saw I was sharp. I took my time. "Maybe not all the ears be the same size, or just as right. But one thing for sure, they all be yellow. I knowed what color corn was. I ate it all the time. Uncle Dan bared his teeth in a foxy grin. That's so, he said. Then he pointed. Now, see that pretty one over there? Just go on over and pick yourself one sweet little corn ear, sissy. And he lifted me down to the ground. Hurry on now. Because I was still kind of blue around the edges, I didn't hurry, not me. I walked over lazy-like to pull one off real easy to show that I was cool. But with my hands half the size of Uncle's, it was tough to break one from the stalk. But I got me an ear and held it high to show it off. Uncle told me, open it. And then he said, look again. And then I saw something very strange. Some of the kernels was red and some blue. I still had my mouth open when Uncle said, now you think they all be the same? I shook my head. Not me, Uncle. Uncle Dan smiled. See now? Everyone's different. Just the way we be, I asked. Uncle nodded and took me by the hand. Let's take a little get-acquainted walk. We walked between the gangly cornstalks, their leafy arms patting us friendly-like, as if to say hello. Made me feel a little better somehow. Uncle, I said then, do plants feel? Could they feel sad the way we does? Kinda blue. Uncle smiled and squeezed my hand. Why, sure, sissy, sure they does. How you tell, I joked. They talks to you? Uncle laughed. Well, they shows me they really does. They give me signs. He pointed to a nearby stalk. See? This one be drooping. You touch a leaf. Gonna be limp, sure. Now I laughed. Didn't he know? It just needs water, Uncle. Can't you see? Uncle laughed and touched the top of my head. You're right. But now, ain't that just like us? Sometimes we need watering too. We need somebody to pay attention to us. Water us when we be sad. He crouched down to look at me. Now, if you know someone really well and you looks very close, you can always tell if they be happy or sad. So, even when you think nobody cares, even when you wishes you had your own papa to watch over you and take care of you, I looked up at him. How did he know? He shook his head. Never you mind. We be there, taking care. For why? Why would you care? I asked. 'Cause we loves you for always, no matter what. We all be family here. I reached up and hugged him tight. And that's when I let go some big tears I had bottled up inside me. And that bottle was tilting and pouring out all my bad feelings till I felt good all over. Then Uncle Dan hugged me back and carried me all the way home, and I knew there was no way I would ever feel as blue or as lonely again.